Getting a scholarship is very important for your study abroad process. Unfortunately, a lot of people apply blindly, not knowing what to do that could get them the scholarship. It is when they gain the admission that they start thinking about it. But guess what? You should start thinking about how you're going to fund your education from the scratch. That is from when you start planning to apply. So, especially in the US, if you want, and you're applying for a graduate school, I'll talk about the undergraduate level. But if you're applying for graduate school, there are five important things to do in order to guarantee you a scholarship. Before you start your application, try and one, either attend an info session. An info session, or webinar or open house, different universities have different names for it. It's some sort of a program that the school takes that opportunity to explain whatever is happening in the school, how you could apply, the scholarships available. You also have an opportunity to ask questions. Understand that the process of applying to higher education institutions in your home country may be a bit different from the country you want to study in. A typical example is that if you want to, you are done with high school, you want to apply to University of Cape Coast, you want to apply to University of Ghana, Legon, or maybe University of Education, Winneba. You go through the post office, you don't contact anybody in the school, you pay for the application fee, you post it, and then it's being done. Over here, you need to talk to somebody before you even put in your application. So for graduate applications, try and attend an info session. You can also email the graduate coordinator of the program to find out certain things that are already not on the university's website. A lot of people complain that I sent an email, nobody responded. It's because the information you sent, has already been answered. Those answers have already been produced, and that may be the frequently asked questions on the website. So please try and read that. Don't repeat the same questions that has been already answered on the page. You can also email, set up a one-on-one meeting. For most universities, it's easy for you to set up a meeting with a graduate coordinator, with an admissions team member, to ask all the questions you need to ask to find out, especially if you qualify for admission, and if you qualify for scholarship, if this information is not already on their website. There's also an opportunity for you to fill out what we call the inquiry form for most universities' website, especially the admissions page. If you scroll down, normally there is a what filling information. So you put in your name, your email address, your phone number, and what questions you want to ask. Then they can be getting in touch with you to let you know about all the questions you ask and all that. So there are several ways you can get to know about whether the university, the program you want to apply to, have a scholarship, they would admit you, and all that. Today, our podcast is going to be very conversational. We'll be answering all your questions. So I'll be sharing the link. You can join us live in the studio. If you do have any questions, we'll be happy to respond to them. So just click on that and join us. You can also type it in the comment section, share so that somebody can benefit from the ideas and information we are sharing. My co-host has always been Miss Hetty and Ben. Hi, Miss Hetty, how are you doing?
Hi, Fred. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's currently 1:49 at my end. What's the time at your end?
It's also 1:49 at my end.
Oh, awesome. You're on the same time zone. Interesting.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm
Yeah,
just at your backyard or something.
probably. I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah, apart from this the sound of, oh man, Ben, we cannot allow that sound on social media. It's let's see, maybe the baby wants to talk. Hi, Mr. Ben, how you doing?
Yeah, by His grace, I'm doing well, and you?
Yeah, I'm okay. How is the UK?
Yeah, by His grace, everything is fine. Now we are in a longer night, shorter day, so it's very
Oh,
More
dark. And
sleep, more sleep, more sleep.
is the UK on the same time zone with Ghana?
now I think 1 hour difference. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you're 1 hour
We are
ahead of.
ahead of Ghana 1 half. Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. All right, Miss Eti, talk to us about your YouTube channel. How do people? What should we expect? I know you have some exciting stuff coming up.
Yeah. So my YouTube channel is basically me sharing my journey of beginning my international students journey abroad, and also having other people share their experiences, which means that if we have done it, you can equally do same. And then also basically enjoying life and living to the fullest as an F1 student here in the US. So yeah.
Yeah, so new people seeing your beautiful face for the first time. Talk to us about your study abroad journey. Which universities have you studied in? What programs have you been pursuing, and all that?
Okay, so I came in 2022. I came to pursue a master's degree in communication at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, on a full scholarship. So if you're watching today and you want to pursue an MA in communication studies with a full scholarship, you can note down Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. So I guess, like I said, I came in, I did a master's program, I finished, and then also went on to work and then school and all of that. And I would say like my experience has been a very interesting and exciting one because I for one I have taken like advantage of every opportunity that has come before me. And so I would say like if you're out there and you're looking to study abroad, the time is now because like regardless of whatever people are saying, and let me just chip in this real quick. Prior to starting my whole journey, I never wanted to come to the US. I'm not even kidding because of hearsay. So I
Yeah.
was looking at these European countries and then Canada, but I was just chopping bounds left and right until I decided that, I'm going to give the US a try. And then on one attempt, by God's grace, here I am sharing my experience with you. So regardless of what people are saying, just know like your experience is different. And so what happened to somebody might not necessarily happen to you. What you can use to your advantage is look at their strategies and see how you can tweak it to benefit yourself and begin your journey now. So yeah.
I see. So Ben, talk to us about yours as well. I know you've been to a couple of countries and all that. How has yours been?
Yeah, I am always motivated by the drive that is pushing you in life. Sometimes like two people can encounter the same journey. One will be successful, the other wouldn't be successful. And all these are life lessons that we need to understand. Sometimes we may say it's opportunity, it's luck, it's that, but I believe that it is the person involved. So there is a saying in our local language that if you are born onto a hill, it's easy for you to become tall. But the truth of the matter is that we have some people who have been born on a hill, but they couldn't be taller as it is expected. And we have people who were born in a pit, but they are tall now. So sometimes it's not about where you find yourself, it's about where you want to go. So this is how I see it. It is like somebody wants to help you, like maybe I'm a driver, I want to take you to a destination. Supposing you don't know where you are going, how can I take you to where you are going? And I think that that has been the situation of most of the youth of late. We want to go somewhere, but we don't know where we are going. And sometimes we tend to blame some people, or we tend to associate to lack, we tend to associate, bring in a lot of excuses. But the truth of the matter is you need yourself. So on that note, wherever you find yourself, no matter how hard it is, you'll be able to navigate yourself from. And because I'm a Christian, let me bring in this analysis so that maybe people will get me well. So if you read the book of the Old Testament, when the Israelites wants to go to the promised land, I think Moses sent some troops to go and check the land. He received two reports. The first group came and they were said that the people who are on the land, they are like giants. We can't fight them. If we try, they will kill us. Then the other group also came and said, oh, the land is very good. It is flowing with honey. Yes, it's true there are people there, but we can conquer and take the land. So this is how the life is. So we have some people, anything, small thing hits them, then they come back. But we have others too who continue to push on. And that has been my journey. I have a reason for going to India. and by the grace of God, I was able to fulfill it. And afterwards, I moved to UK. Even when I started the UK, there were a lot of hindrances, especially finances, but it didn't keep me back. I still navigated myself through, and here I am. I am done with my second master's in UK. And we are hoping, trying that maybe some years to come, we can help as many as we could. The truth of the matter is, when you come, you see the difference for yourself. No one will tell you, because the education system that we are using in our country, they were designed by people. Sometimes you need to put politics aside and face the truth. The education system you're using, we're being designed. Look, there is no one who can be expert in Microsoft than Bill Gates. He designed it. So the best way, if you want to become a guru in Microsoft, then you have to be in touch with Bill Gates. Is it Bill Gates? Hetty, who is in charge of Microsoft? You are muted. Is it Bill Gates, right? Hetty, you are muted. All right, so the point I want to make is that, please know the drive. What is pushing you? If you understand this drive, you'll be able to make the right decisions for yourself. Know where you want to go to, where you want to get to in life, then build the connections around. And I know that surely you are going to get there. So this has been my story. And I'm very emotional when it comes to this, because I know that people are saying it's not easy. Bro, we've all been there. It's not easy, but we are making it. Okay, so sometimes you have to reduce the excuses and go the extra mile. And I'm sure that whatever be our intention will surely come true. So I think this is a little bit I can share with my journey so far.
Right. That's it. So today we are picking questions. Unfortunately, we were supposed to have our guest on, as you might have probably seen on the flyers we've been posting out. But unfortunately, our guest couldn't make it. So today is a Q&A session. You can drop your questions, any questions you have about studying in the UK, studying in the US. Mr. T is here, Ben is here, and then we are going to respond to that. So send us your questions, and then we'll be happy to respond to them. And you can also use the link that I've shared to directly join us in the studio. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to respond to that as well. So that's it. Remember that most the applications for 2026 fall semester starts now, and so there are a lot of universities. Deadlines will be in December, some will be in January next year, and also February. Mostly, if you want to have the school give you scholarship, it is important that you apply early. So most admission and scholarship considerations are made based on how fast you submit your applications. If you are working on any form of application, if you have questions, you need inquiries, we've been through it, and then we'll be happy to share our thoughts with you. We have our first person on. Rema, how are you doing?
I'm good, Fred. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, what's your full name? Rema Tip Top.
Okay, that is my company account. So my name is Redolph Jeremiah.
Okay, go ahead. You have a question for us.
Yes. All right. So I completed senior high somewhere 2020, and then I have been applying to some schools for some time now, and I've had certain opportunities, but the bank statement has been the problem, because I have not written SAT. So most scholarships, most professors I talk to tell me that if I want to increase my chances, it's either I'm taking the SAT or I'm providing a bank statement of myself for myself. And I don't know what is keeping me, but I am kind of afraid of the SAT, because I read few things online about it. I tried to answer some questions on my own. I couldn't score what I thought I would score. So I'm actually afraid to invest into that and then not succeed in it. I don't know. But watching Fred, he's been working on my mind. So I just want to come on now today as I've gotten the chance to also hear something from you. So it's really not a question.
Mr. Tio Ben, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, so Raymond, I think you have to. Hey, Jeremiah, sorry, your name is Jeremiah, right?
Yeah, Jeremiah. Yes, please.
Yeah, life. Let me explain life to you. Life
Yes,
is
please.
all about.
I think Jeremiah is he's having issues with a connection. I think his question was very clear, so we can go ahead and answer it.
Yeah, so life is risk. Okay, that is the definition of life. So if right now you've tried and you think you're not getting the score that you want, it's very simple. Keep preparing. Prepare until you think you have prepared enough. Then give it a try. We don't run away from problem. We face it. And until you face it, you are not going to see the result. Even if you fail, it is not the end of your life. You have gained an experience. So try, prepare harder, try, give yourself the first chance, and let's wait for the outcome. If it doesn't go the way you want, prepare again. So until you pass your SAT, you are not giving up. Have this mindset, and I'm sure you are going to be successful.
Okay. Can you hear me? All right.
Yes, yeah, we
Oh,
can hear
okay.
you.
All right, perfect. So I was just going to add up. I think Ben has eventually said everything I wanted to say, but the only thing I would add to it is don't go into it with preconceived notions. You checked online, people have shared experiences that it's difficult, it's hard, is it's not going to work out. And just don't go with preconceived notions. And this is something that has happened to me because I remember when I wanted to do study abroad in the US. The reason why I wasn't looking for the US was because everybody told me I have to write GRE. And I don't like maths. So anything possible to avoid it and not go back and go and sit down and learn equation, find why. I don't anything that concerns finding y and x. I didn't want to go through that torture. So I just didn't want to go. So I already had this preconceived notion. So when I started the GRE class, I paid for the full class. 2 weeks into that thing, I just gave. I said, "Oh, I cannot come and keep myself. I will not do it again." But guess what? I was able to gain admission with a fully funded scholarship for the program that I want without having to write GRE. So all this to say that don't go with preconceived notions. Again, it's people's experiences. That doesn't mean that is the same thing that is going to happen to you. So you said earlier that you don't know what is stopping you, but then you've been stumbling upon Fred's content and materials, and it's been speaking to your mind. So you could see that as a sign that is a time for you to put everything aside, shut yourself out from everything, focus on whatever you want to do, which is your SAT. Get the good results. At least you've done it once, you have a fair idea of what it looks like. So now this is your second time. Your second time, you should come back stronger. Strive for that perfect score that will get you the scholarship to go study abroad. Regardless of your age, I feel like once you have a good SAT score and your documentations are right, you should be able to pursue an undergraduate degree. It's not something that should prevent you. So, all in all, just to say that you can do it. So, ignore whatever people's experiences and encounters have been and focus on yourself and just nail it once and for all.
All right. Before Isaac comes in, so a lot of people think that necessarily get a school to pay for everything. The only way out SAT or the I don't know if I lost the connection. Can anybody hear me? I think I
Yeah.
lost the connection a little bit. Can you hear me, message? Okay, good. So a lot of people think that the only way to have the school to pay for everything for undergrad is writing the SAT or ACT. Not everybody who has a full scholarship to study undergrad had to write the SAT, even though most people had to. So what you have to look for is an institution that allow you to fill what we call the CSS profile. The CSS profile sort of talks about, it gives you an opportunity to put in your family's financial details and stuff like that. And based on the information you provide, the school can identify whether you need the funds you need in order to support you with a financial aid. So not necessarily writing the SAT or the ACT, but finding a school that allows you to complete the CSS. Not every school allows for that. So before you apply, you can ask for that. The final one is the International Student Financial Aid Application. That is ISFA. That is different from FAFSA. FAFSA is for domestic student. The ISFAA, International Student Financial Aid Application. So most universities, not every university, as an undergrad, they give you an opportunity to fill out this form, and then they consider you for funds based on the information you produce in there. So if you are scared of writing stuff like that, you don't have the financial capacity, then you need to put in the extra work to find schools that allow you to fill out the CSS profile or the ISFAA. All right, let's talk to Isaac. Isaac, please go on.
Hello. Good evening, Mr. Ben and Mr. Fred.
Yeah. Good evening, Ike.
Okay. Please, I just completed my bachelor's in business administration and logistics and supply chain management is my option. Luckily, my results was released yesterday, and to the glory of God, I'm having second class upper. And then before your session started, I was just using the West Free GPA calculator to evaluate my CWA. And then I realized it is 3.18 over 4. So I was also looking at applying for masters in public policy. And I don't know if it is okay for me to go for it, or there's any other option you can advise me on.
Okay, thank you for your question. So, which university do you intend to apply to?
I was checking University of Connecticut.
Do they accept West?
Okay, I've not really checked that.
So that's the problem that most of us we face along the line. Some people even end up writing GRE. At the end of the day, they will not use it. So we have always been saying this. At the moment you have the intention to do so, try as much as possible to have at least 3 or 4 universities in mind that you want to apply to. It's good you've been able to identify your program. Go to their website and read the application requirements. When you read and where's it's a requirement, it's a mandatory requirement, then you can know how to figure it out. So sometimes we worry too much about things that we don't have to worry. And let me tell you, there are about thousands of universities out there that do not accept West evaluation. West. Okay. So what you have to do is please go and get the application requirement of about 5 universities you want to apply, and then let's start from them. And then don't also get worried about maybe the results you go for your West evaluation.
Okay.
You don't need, even though some universities may declare that maybe you have to get 3.0 before you can apply, but once again, it's not all the universities. So you have to know how to play your cards well. So if you read and maybe the university is demanding like maybe 3.7 or 3.5 before they can give you scholarship, bro, don't waste all your energy there.
Yes, sir.
Go and look for the ones that you can fall within. There are a lot of options for you. Don't limit yourself. There is not one school in the US, over 5,000 universities. And the universities have been designed in such a way that each and everyone can get a university to attend.
Okay. Thank
So
you
I'm
very
sure
much.
if you're able to put in these strategies, it will help you.
All right. But finally, with my background in logistics and supply chain management, going for the masters in public policy, is it advisable?
Can I?
I okay, go ahead.
Oh no. Oh, okay. I was gonna say that if there's one thing I've learned about schools here in the US is regardless of your background, you can get into certain programs. That is why most schools like require you write a statement of purpose. You look at some courses that you took that like go in line with whatever you want to study. So your background shouldn't limit you that this is what I want to do, but this is my background. So by force, I have to go into supply chain management. No, there's an aspect of public administration that drew your attention. How does what you have studied, or what even after what you study, what you're going to do in terms of work, help you get into that program? So that is where you use your statements of purpose to your advantage. Does that make sense? So,
Yes,
regardless of
please.
your background, for my personal interactions I've had with people and all of that, I know you can get into that program. But then, if it is also supply chain management that you still want to get into, there are also like other schools there you can look at. Because, like, I know of Towson University, they have a good supply chain management master's program where they offer funding. So, it's something you can look into. But again, yes, to answer your question, you can get into that program so far as you meet the requirements of the school that you're going to. Just like Ben mentioned, look for a number of schools, look at their requirements and see which one works best for you, and one that you can write a very compelling and competitive statement of purpose for them to give you the admission.
I'm most grateful. And I would love to get in touch with any of you
Yeah,
later.
yeah, sure. It's easy. What we do is that we have an Instagram page which is verified. So all you need to do is to send us a private message. We'll be happy to respond to that. Miss Francisca, how are you doing? Your microphone is muted. You have to unmute it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Please yourself.
Unfortunately, there's a bit of noise at your background.
Okay, just one
Tell
minute.
them you want to study abroad, so they should keep quiet for you to ask your question. Anyway,
Is
go
it
ahead.
okay?
Yeah, we can manage
Okay.
this.
I want to find out about one thing, which is you did your HND when you had a second class lower, and then you did a top up.
It's quite unfortunate, Miss Francisca. So sorry. Good question, but the background is not helpful. So it will be great if you get a quiet background, then we'll be able to talk to you from there. Right. If you're asking how do you join the session, we've shared the link on the various social media platforms. So you can just click on the StreamYard link. It will directly lead you into the studio and you'll be able to ask your questions. Alternatively, you can type your question in the comment section. We'll be reading and then we'll be responding to them. All right. Let's see if we can pick another person. Oh, Miss Francisca is back, but the background. Okay. Let's talk to Eben. You need to put your video on if you want us to pick you up, because you're on video. Mr. Ebenezer, go ahead.
Can you hear me, please?
We can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for the opportunity. Um, I have a brother, not me. I have a brother who completed Cape Coast Polytechnic. He did the auto. I think they work more on the, I think, cars and the other machines. Do you know other technical universities that have courses in that area? Right now, he's working with Metromax, and he want to come in here to further his education. Do you have any universities in mind that offer that courses?
What is his qualification? You said Cape Coast Technical University. Is it a
Yeah.
bachelor's? Is it a diploma?
Oh, that time was not university, so it's like HND.
Okay, so that's a 3-year or 2-year diploma.
3 years.
Okay, so for 3-year diploma, he has to make a decision. If he wants to study in the US, he can use the 3-year diploma to apply directly into a master's degree, and then he can also apply as a as a transfer student for a bachelor's degree. So what I mean
Okay.
is that, assuming he wanted to go to Legon Tech or any school like that, because he has already completed some 3-year undergraduate courses, he would be admitted as a continuing student. right? So you need to
Okay.
ask him whether he would prefer to apply directly for a master's degree program or he would prefer to go through the bachelor's degree route. If we get to know that, then we can decide on, okay, what would be the next step to take. Because for a
Okay.
3-year diploma, he has 6 semesters of transcript. And for most people applying for masters, they would have 8 semesters or 4 years of transcript.
Okay. All right. My next question is, do you guys do maybe one of your team members do like application and stuff, and there's any charging to it? Because for
Yeah. So what we do is that we have a one-on-one session. Not everything can be can be put on social media. So what we do is we have a one-on-one session, and I'll be sharing the link. When he schedules a one-on-one meeting, we get to know what qualification he has, the transcript, and what apply for, whether the bachelor's or the master's degree. And from that, from the alternate, they can send us a direct message on our verified Instagram handle, and we'll take it from there. So this will be the link to schedule the meeting. Let me see if I can push that out real quick. Yeah, so we have a link. I'll put it on the screen very soon. That is the link we can use to schedule a one-on-one session. We can take it from there. All right, let's bring that person on. Emmanuel Gazy, go ahead. Microphone is muted. You have to unmute it, Gazy. Oh, okay. Emmanuel is gone. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Of you. Sorry.
We can hear you. Please go on.
Okay. So, please, I'm getting admission to Grand State Valley University, and I have I managed to get
Before you
my
continue,
my verification that my 20 is in.
Gazy, before you continue, there is a bit of noise at your background, right? It's difficult hearing you. So if you could fix that. Okay. Let's
Hear me
see.
now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay,
So
so I've
the,
gotten
the name of the
admission.
take your time.
Yeah.
The name of the school is Grand Valley State University. So that's the
Yeah.
name of the school you've gained admission to know what you said.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes. So that is a master's in cybersecurity. I applied for, currently I'm processing for my I-20, and then I couldn't get the funding. So I kind of tried my hands on M Fund. I was given the
Gazy, this is a learning
87,000.
Gazy, take your time. This is a learning platform. Let's get the names right. The name of your school is Grand Valley State. The loan you applied for is called Empower Financing, not M
Yes,
Fund.
M Fund.
Let's use the
Okay,
right word. This is an education platform for people who are learning.
okay. So Empower Financing. After they granted me the loan, I'm kind of scared because the amount they gave me and was 87,000. I was like, in fact, I actually need advice on whether to accept it or not because I'm looking at the prospect after the program and the payment.
Mr. T, you want to go on? What do you think?
Sorry?
So I was just going to say, first of all, I think there's some noise in your background. Okay. So your question is you are scared about the loan that you've been given by Empower Financing and you don't know whether to go ahead with it. If there's one thing I know about Empower, when you request a loan from them and you approve, they always end up giving you like more than you requested. And Fred, please correct me on that if I'm wrong. So your question right now is you want to go study abroad. I'm giving you a scenario and I want you to follow me. You want to go and study abroad. You didn't get funding from your school. However, you solicited for external funds and then now you have the funds. So this is something that you've always wanted to do. And now
Yeah.
you've gotten the support or the external means to go and do it. Okay. You're afraid of the job prospect afterwards. Why not focus on the now and the present? You have the opportunity to go steady. How about focusing on getting the visa, coming in? You never know if you'd end up getting an assistantship upon arrival. So all this to tell you that right now your focus should be on how can I get to the school? How can I get a visa to be able to go study this program? And then when you arrive, you can explore possibilities of getting an assistantship. You can explore possibilities of getting funding from your school, your department. So if you should ask me, you have had an opportunity to gain admission. Some people haven't, but you have. And then now you have an external funding, which is more than you requested for. Hooray. But yes, you are worried about the payments because it's a loan. But look at it on the positive side, which is I think something that Fred always advises us. And even Ben mentioned this at the beginning of the live session, that always turn it into positives. Like look at the positive side of things and then use that to your advantage, because you don't know the opportunities that lie ahead of you when you arrive here. So my personal take is don't let that be a stumbling block to prevent you from pursuing that journey. I would say like look at the brighter side of things and use it to your advantage. So I don't know if Ben would want to add anything to that.
Etty, you said it all. So, by the way, Yima, congratulations, because somebody wants to be at where you are. The person have applied for 10 times, but every time she applies, she gets rejected. But you are lucky to be to be to get how much did you get? 87,000. Yeah, you are muted.
87,200.
87, that's a good money.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, yes, I think the only part I sign with you is that maybe when you go for a visa interview, there's a likelihood that you'll be asked, how are you going to pay that money? Have you been joining the Freddie Fed visa mock interview?
I think it just came.
Yeah, so
It came
join.
last
Yeah,
week.
because you have people who have been in your shoes, they've gotten loan and still got their visa approved. Okay, so
Okay.
as Miss Seti
What?
said, uh-huh.
Okay. What get me
I'm
scared
listening.
was that if I take it and sign currently I have to sign the acceptance and agreement form, terms and conditions. Now, when they put me on auto pay, then it means that even when I'm in school, I have to pay about $1,100 when I'm in school. During the learning.
Have you read it well? Because I know that most of the loans, like sometimes it starts when you are done with your education.
Yes, so
They
there
start
are
the
options.
deductions when you are done. Yeah.
Yes, so there are options. So that one came in. In fact, I've not signed it yet, but there are options there's an option that when you are done, then you start a payment. Then there is another option if you want to get a discount on I think the interest rate or so. You'll be signed on to auto payment. So whilst you are in school, you're paying the interest. Then whilst you are done, you have 6 months afterwards. Then you can start paying both the interest and then the principal. So, when I look at it and I saw the amount, I was kind of scared of it. Yeah.
So Mr. Gazy, you're Ghanaian, right?
Yes, I'm a Ghanaian. Yeah.
Ghana for you so cut too much. You so cut too much. But I just want to add up to something that Ben said. Okay. He first of all he told you congratulations. People are not even getting some people's schools don't even qualify for Empower financing. Okay. So again, like he just pointed out something. Take your time, read through the documents that they've sent you. Okay, again, look at it on the brighter side. Maybe today you might want to sleep on it. Okay. And then tomorrow after church, as usual, Sunday, take your time, read through everything vividly, understand the terms and conditions, and weigh your options and look at the brighter side. If there's one thing that the Fred Effect team does is the team is here to support you in whichever way it can to help you like transition through the process smoothly. By the end of the day, the final decision lies on us as individuals. So you know your goal, you know what you want to achieve, you know the reason why you even applied for that program in the first place. And if this opportunity has come before you, at the end of the day, you know you are the best person to make an advice that you know that you be very happy and very much content with. So all this to say that think about it, read explicitly every single information on that document. You can reach out and ask questions and be make sure that everything that you needed has been responded to before you pen your signature on that document, and that's okay. So that is all that I have to say. And I think that will be all from my end. And I'm sure that's same for Ben as well.
Yeah, that's that. So the only thing is what you can also consider the option whereby you can start paying after you are done with your studies. So that in case you are there and you're able to secure other source of funding, then you can you can now decide to do away with them.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I think if you go in for the option where you can pay after you are done with your studies, it can help so that you can have enough room to look for other alternatives.
Okay. All right. So I think we have Francis. Can you hear me? Hi, Francis. Okay, you probably have
Yeah,
some
I
new.
can hear you. Hello.
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you. You can go ahead and ask the question.
Okay. Okay. So I'm Francis, and I think my question is my school is related is in UK. So I think Fred Effect usually talks about schools in US. So I don't know if mine will count.
Of course, you have Mr. Ben here who is in the UK, so go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, sure. So Mr. Ben, I recently applied to some of the schools, and I got I think six.
Okay, I think we lost Francis, his connection. So maybe we might want to take another person. Another Francis. Hi, Francis. Hi, Francis. Okay, I think we also have a little bit of. I think in the meantime, let's see if we can get like one question from the chat. I don't know if that's fine with you, Mr. Ben.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay, so somebody says, "Hello, Fred and team. I applied as a transfer student to study in Wayne State University and was admitted. The academic department of my course is saying 76% completed, and I need 24 course to graduate, but it didn't specify exact credit hours I need to do so. What is the difference between courses and credit hours because it wasn't specified?" So if there's one thing I know, credit hours refers to like the number of courses you are taking in a semester. So in the US, let me speak from the master's, the graduate student level. If you are taking three courses, each course is 3 credit hours. So if it's three, so that means three multiplied by three, that is going to be nine. So 333. So that's the total number of credit hours. So your question, which is what's the difference between courses and credit hours? Credit hours is the number of hours attached to each course. So you would have to reach out to your school with your question and ask them to be explicitly clear on what exactly they need because it might differ from schools. And also because you're a transfer student, so your process differs from someone who is like freshly admitted into the program. So again, you might want to email your academic department and ask them for explicit details to understand your situation in order to get the right information to them. Hopefully, I've responded to your question. Um, so someone says, I'm inquiring. I want my daughter to study from the USA, but she has just completed primary 7 in Uganda. What level of education should she apply for? Mr. Ben, do you want to take this? Primary 7. I think that's elementary, right?
Education in Uganda.
Yeah, I could be wrong. Maybe.
I
Yeah,
think, yeah, I think that would be primary school. So if you can explain better,
Yeah.
that would be helpful.
yeah.
Yes. So if you can explain, that would help. So Atongo says, I have HND in industrial, which I graduated with 4.31 over 5.0. Do I stand a chance of getting a fully funded undergraduate degree? I'll leave Mr. Ben to respond to this because
Yeah. Okay, so another mistake that we make, please, the scholarship is not only the CGPA is not only requirement for scholarship. So I would be glad if, like, after you said you got 4.31 after out of 5.0, then maybe you indicate at the moment I am doing A, B, C, D, maybe, and when I was in school, I was this, I was that, I am volunteering for this company. You see, that makes you heavy. Then that one we can confidently give you an answer. Because supposing somebody to has a CGP of 4.8, then obviously if we are to go by CGPA, then you are out. Okay. So please, it's good. You stand a huge chance of getting a scholarship. Even we know people with two CGP of 2.5, 2.3 who were able to secure scholarship. But the truth of the matter is they didn't submit only their transcripts, they added extra experience. So if you had been with us from the beginning, Miss Hetty was saying that that's the reason why you have the chance to present your statement of purpose. And that's where you indicate most of these things. And then you in your CV as well, for anyone who is to take decision on your application to know that indeed you stand out. So your CGP alone cannot make you stand out. What other things will make you stand out? So I think that is what you need to be considering at the moment. You have a good CGPA. Congratulations and keep it up. But for you to be able to secure full scholarship, then please, my advice is that try and get something doing. If you are not in any field, try. Even if you are to volunteer, try and get volunteers so that you can enrich your CV. And I'm sure that you will be through with this scholarship application. Thank you.
yes, so just to add on to that, even before that, your question says you have an HND in industrial. There's so many industrial programs. You weren't like necessarily specific. So at the end of the day, this is your GPA, your CGPA. You can look for schools that align with what you want to study and look at their requirements as well. So just like Mr. Ben mentioned, it's not limited to just your transcript and your CGPA. Their schools require other documents. If it was CGPA, like trust me, some people wouldn't have stress of having to write statements of purpose, writing sample, and all of those things. And I have a video on my YouTube channel. My YouTube is Miss Hetty, where I talk about the steps to like you go through in order to do your school application, and then you can look at that video and it will also serve as a guide to help you make that decision as well. So, Francis, can you hear us?
No, there's Atongo Listo.
Oh
Yeah.
no, Francis, yeah.
Okay, Francis. Okay.
Okay. So my question is, I had admissions, and then it was partial funding. So
Francis,
initially,
sorry, there's some background noise at your end. If you don't mind, and then we can go ahead and take it from there. Yeah.
okay, okay. So is it okay now? So it was a partial funding. I think 20 to 30%. So initially, I had someone who was willing to help me pay my school fees. but then something happened, and then the person isn't in the same position as she was before. So I wanted to make inquiries if there are other ways to fund my fees. The person is in fact willing to make any guarantees if I could get a student loan from anywhere, any company, institution. She learns there are student loan companies or institutions who are willing to give loans to students. And then if they find an appropriate um, guarantor, or is a guarantee, they can help the person. So that's what I wanted to make inquiries about and see the way forward.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good question. So so far I think there are a lot of companies that give loan, but to the best of my knowledge at the moment, I think they always consider the the home students. Yeah, so even more about almost all my classmates, like the white people, they were all most of them were on student loan. But as to extending it to international is something I'm yet to figure it out, because once again, all the international students that I know, it's like none of us have been able to bring out whether he or she is on student loan. So we all tried to pay our fees at our own pace. So what I would do is that I will make some few inquiries. So try and then send us Instagram message, and I will try as much as possible to um, send you the feedback on that. But at the moment, what I know is that most of the companies here, they do sponsor only the home students. That's the best I know at the moment. So I can still make some inquiries and then get back to you. So just link up via Instagram and I'll get you the needed information.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very
You're welcome.
All right, thank you so much, Francis. So then let's take another question from is Redwan. Okay, there's a question here. Good evening, Fred Effect team. I want to know if I need to write an SOP to study for an undergraduate degree. Mr. Ben, the way you smile. So for an undergraduate degree, again, I think Mr. Ben and I have stressed on this enough that once you find a school you want, look at the requirements. Look at the requirements. Every school that I know of in the US has a website for requirements needed to get into that program. So whether it's an undergraduate degree, it's a graduate degree, once you find your school, look for your program's website and check out the requirements. If there's something you're still not clear about, send an email to your department. It might take long, but you surely get that response. So, to answer your question, the right response to your question will be to check with your academic department's website and see the specific requirements they have there, if they need you to write an SOP or not. So let's take another question from this person says, I just graduated from the University of Ghana. I studied Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and I majored in BSc in Health Services Administration. Can I do a master's in public health outside without doing national service in Ghana, please? National service, if you have the chance to do service, I feel like you should. I did service. I think Mr. Ben, you also did service, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, and I'm sure, like, yes, the Fred Effect also did national service, but again, it's your long-term goal. And I know if you want to work in government after school, that is one thing that is required. It should be required that you have at least served the nation for a year, right? Yes, so you have to consider your long-term goals. In the immediate or short-term goals, it might feel like it's not something you might want to do, but how about also using it to your advantage? Use that time or space to get into the field and see which part you want to specialize in. And then you can use that to build up on your graduate application process. Also, if you feel you want to do your graduate studies immediately as well, you have the means, you have the documents, you have everything ready, go for it. So my personal advice to you is to weigh both options, as which is one, if you know you're going to be in government someday, the national service is a mandatory thing. But if not, you can still look at it from the angle of getting the experience and knowing which aspect of public health you want to specialize in, and then using that to build up for your application process. And the second option is, if you have the means and you are ready and you feel like you are prepared and want to go right now, you can also go for it. I don't know if Mr. Ben want to add anything to that, but that'll be
Yeah,
my
I think you said it all. So there's nothing much to add.
okay. That's fine. I think we'll take a question from Oluwatoyin. Can you hear me? Hi, Oluwatoyin. Okay, I think she's not here. Hi, Enoch.
Can you unmute yourself? Yeah.
Yeah, can you turn on your camera because we are doing like a video, so it'll be good to see your face.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Hi, Enoch.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi. Yes. So, I emailed two professors in the same university regarding different programs, right? So I did my bachelor's in psychology and my master's in clinical health psychology. So one of the program is clinical health psychology, and one is research, educational measurement, and psychometrics. So in psychology, we also have psychological testing, which has to do with psychometrics. So I want to know, is it advisable to apply to two different graduate programs in the same university? So I'm concerned about perception as whether you are not like convinced what you want to do. But all the programs can be used in the same field of clinical psychology.
Yeah, it is allowed. Even some schools portal system is such that they can even allow you to select 2 or 3 programs. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. Is it from the same department?
No, it's not.
So now the only advice is that try and then find out from them, like which of the department is willing to sponsor you, so that if you are to pay application fee, you can say, so for instance, if you maybe send email to all of them and one says yes and the other says no, then at least you have to channel your energy to where they says yes. But if you are lucky and both of them says yes, there are funding available, then you can apply to both departments. So it's allowed to apply.
I
I'm
know they
listening.
assured me that funding is available.
Yes. So
but
if
then I was
funding is
concerned about perception.
no, don't worry about that. Go ahead and apply.
Enoch, Baku and Fa Baku Befa. So yes, I mean, yeah, just to add on to like what Mr. Ben said, it's allowed. At the end of the day, you just said that they said that they have funding available for you. So you sounded, when you were talking with all the terms, I was like, okay, he knows what he's about, he knows what he's going for. So please push it through. If you end up getting both, that's a plus for you. Then you just decide which one you want to do.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Hi, Frank. Frank, can you hear me?
Yes, madam.
Can you please turn on your camera so we can see your face as well?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. My question is, I'm done with the DS 160 application form, and I want to know if I can send it here for
Okay, so just to respond to your question, assuming you are done with your DS 160 and you are asking if the team can review it for you.
yes, please.
Yes. So if you happen to join the Fred Effect mock session, are you a part of that?
Yes, please.
Yes. So there are days where the team sets aside to review DS 160. So you can send Mr. Fred a message, and then you can also be joining the sessions, because even sometimes on random days he reviews DS 160, or anybody from the team does that as well. So then you can reach out to him, and then he would assist you with that as well. All right. Hi Abdul. Hi Abdul.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Mhm.
Thank you for the good work you are doing. Actually, my question is, I applied for interview, but unfortunately there was a mistake I made, and then so it couldn't really meet the time I am starting my school. So now I have March 19th, next year March, and my school supposed to start in January. So that means, and I have exhausted all my rescheduling options. That means I have to defer the program to maybe the summer or the fall intake. So in that case, if I defer, what next am I going to do? Am I going to make changes in the DS 160 application, and how am I going to do that? Or when I defer, I get a new I-20 letter. What is the next, or what is the way forward?
Okay, I want to tackle one aspect of it. So before you defer, I think you can consult your department and see if it's possible for you to join online until March. Then you explain your situation to them,
Okay.
so that you don't waste much time. So you can join them online to cover the first semester. Then when you get your visa, you go and then continue. So that is an option I want you to find out. And then if you're able to maybe get positive news from there, you can take a decision from there. I don't know, Miss Hetty, if you can talk about he getting new I-20 for the deferment, after the deferment.
If you're deferring to a new program, I think most of the times, like they give you like a new I-20 if you are deferring. So if you are going to defer, but I think the very most important thing is what Mr. Ben has asked you to do, and then you can decide from there. If you are going to defer, then they'll give you like a new I-20. Yes.
You're muted.
Sorry. So after getting the new I-20, what am I supposed to do next? Am I to make any changes in the DS 160 application, or it's just the new I-20 and I'm good to go?
So there are a couple of things. Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Hey.
please, Mr.
Yeah.
Fred, I
So
can hear you.
yeah, there are a couple of things. The first one is that you may, if you've submitted your DS 160, obviously because the some aspects of it are going to change. For example, your earliest admission date, your program start date, and all that, they will change. So it will necessitate that you change it in the DS 160. So, for example, in the DS 160, they ask you, when you want to arrive to start your program. In the previous DS 160, due to how that date was structured on your I-20, you might have chosen a different date. Now it will necessitate that you choose another date. Also, if as at the time you'll be going for the next interview, your work experience, something might have changed about your profile that you would want to, add to the DS 160. So yes, the good thing is that if you start a new DS 160, you can raise what we call a ticket, and then they will update it in the system for you. So that will not be a problem.
All right, thank you.
And one more thing, if you've already paid the service fee and you receive a new I-20, sometimes, not all the time, so sometimes if the service ID number on your I-20 changes, it means that you would have to do what we call a service transfer. That is the transfer of the payment from one service ID number. That is if it changes. Mostly if you defer and you pay the service fee, it might not change, but sometimes you end up having a new I-20 which has a new service ID number. So you have to do what we call the service fee transfer.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Fred. So the point is, I have already paid the service fee. I've even already submitted the DS-160 application. So you mean when I get the new I-20, I should talk to the embassy and then they will make the changes for me, or they will allow me to be able to do the changes? I don't.
No, I really want you to take your time and listen to me carefully. So first of
Oh,
all,
okay.
the DS-160 has been submitted. So if you create a new one, you will get what we call a new DS-160 confirmation number, the number that starts with AA00. So remember that the one that you have submitted, it had its own code or confirmation number, the number that begins with AA00. So if you create a new one, you're going to get a new number. Then you raise a ticket in the AVIT portal, telling them that you want to change your old DS-160 to a new one, and they will do that for you. That is one. The second thing I spoke about is that you have paid the service fee. Now it's you are going to get a new I-20 which would indicate the new start date. So if the I-20 comes and it has the old service ID number like it was on your old I-20, no problem. But if it has a new service ID number, which was the number that starts with N00. If it is new, it means that you need to go through the process of the FMJFE website where you generated the service coupon. Then you go to transfer so that the payment can be transferred from the old service ID number to the new service ID number. That is if you receive the new I-20, the service ID number has changed. If it has not changed, then there's no problem. You have to keep the old payment that, confirmation number that you have. But when does your program start, bro?
They're actually supposed to start in January, but
And what is your
my
current
date I
interview
got
date?
March 19th.
That is not a problem. I mean, March 19th next year, and then we are still in October 2025. Your program is starting in January. The good thing is that in the spring semester, people do not schedule like a lot of interview appointments. So normally, if you're going in the spring semester, the fall semester has like a lot of people compared to the spring semester. So what you can do is to take your time, and one, you can reschedule, take your time, monitor the calendar, reschedule to a closer date. If you are able to join platforms or WhatsApp groups that has like a lot of people, like what the group we have, if you send us a message on Instagram, we add you. So normally people see dates and they will let you know. The good thing is that now the Avid portal allow you to reschedule multiple times, unlike the previous ones. So that's a good thing. The second thing is that you have paid the service fee. Go ahead and request for what we call an expedited or emergency request. If it is being approved, the embassy will automatically reschedule your appointment for you. So you can monitor to reschedule to a closer date. You have paid the service fee. You can go ahead and put in what we call the emergency request. If it is being approved, you're good to go.
Yeah, Fred, I think we have to make video on this in circulate. I think it might help because from um, Latif's face, you can see that the terms are too much for him to absorb. So if we can do video on this, I think it might help. Miss Ati, would you like to do video on this so we share?
I agree. I think a video should kind of like be put out there, and then you can understand like step by steps and go by it as well. So that makes sense. So we'll probably take a few more questions. Emmanuel Otu. Hi, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, can you hear me? Okay, I think Emmanuel is not here. We might probably want to take some questions from the comment section. Someone said, "Hi, Mr. Ben, please. I completed 2 years diploma with CGPA 3.12 and 2 years bachelor with CGPA of 3.7. And I wanted to apply for Masters in Nature Resources specialization. Please, can I get full
Scholarship.
approval? Yeah.
Yes, Safo. Yes, you stand a chance. But once again, it's not only about CGPA. So make sure that in your application, you tell us who you are and what makes you, like what you have been doing with your life. You know, I think, let me share this story. I think UCC level 200, and I think this changed my life. You know, we did one geography course. I was expecting to get A, and it came and it was B plus. The thing pained me. It pained me because this course, why should I get B plus? I was even expecting A plus, so why B plus? You know the funny thing. So I went to meet the lecturer, and I said, "Say, this is your course. Like my assessment, everything was on. I was expecting A, but I got B plus." Then he said one thing. He said, "Ben, I have every power, every capacity to review your script. Then we go through step by step to rectify. Maybe my TA made a mistake and I can rectify, but I'm not going to do. I want to tell you something. You know, sometimes it's not about your CGPA. It's about what you can do." And he says the worst thing is you getting A from a course and knowing nothing about that course or can't even apply the course is the worst thing ever to happen to you. And this changed my life. Since then, I never chased CGP again. I chased adding more value to myself. And I think that is what is pushing me at the moment. So please, the CGPA is good, pa. It's very good. Whoever says it's no good, the person is lying. But it is not sufficient. It is not enough to get you to where you want to be. So try and then seek to add more value to yourself. What talent is in you? What are you capable of doing? Showcase those ones. And I'm sure if you're able to do that, it will make you an outstanding candidate. And every professor or every lecturer out there will be willing to work with you. And on that note, it becomes easier for you to secure your scholarship.
Thank you, Mr. Ben. You have said it all. And just to add on to this, is like a generic advice to everybody who is looking to study in abroad. I cannot like hammer this enough that until you start, you wouldn't know like so many doors, tips and tricks to these things. So if you are just relying on certain things, oh, my CGPA is not good, I cannot get into this program. I think Mr. Ben mentioned earlier that even people with 2 point something are getting admission, people are getting scholarships, and it's your statements of purpose that helps, especially if you're a graduate student. So again, you have the points, you have a good CGPA, but then also like you need to let the school understand what else are you bringing to the table? What experience do you have? What is the department also going to learn from you as being part of them? So these are things that you should look out for when you are putting together your statements of purpose for a particular school as well. So is Oluwatoyin here? Let me see if we can take this question. Hi, Oluwatoyin. Okay, I think she's not. Um, let's take a few more questions. I see somebody says, "Hi, Mr. Ben. I want to ask if I can use someone living outside Ghana bank statements for proof of funds."
Hetty, can you handle this?
So it is possible to use somebody outside Ghana's bank statement as a proof of funds. I have prepped some people for interview sessions here in the US who have used bank statements of relatives here in the US to get their visa. At the end of the day, it is your story, and you're the best person to tell your story when you go for the interview. And if it's also for like you to receive your I-20, yes, I think it is also doable unless your school tells you like we need somebody else in your home country statement. No, I'm presenting this statement is my father, is my uncle, is my auntie. I am bringing it as my relative. So yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
I can quickly add to that as well.
yeah,
So
sure.
normally when it comes to financial statement, it's not the embassy that decides. It's rather your university when it comes to student visa that decides. So most universities, they have what we call the financial affidavit or financial support form. So the university specifically states what kind of financial statement they want. So for example, if you are going to University of Alabama, they will tell you that the bank statement should either come from you or your mom or your dad. Even your auntie, they will not take it. They will not take a company statement. Meanwhile, my first university or high university, they will say that any bank statement is okay, whether it's a company statement, you have to add a letter to it. So the university you are going to dictate what kind of bank statement they would accept. So if you are able to send a relative in the US bank statement and the school accepts that to release or to issue your I-20, it means that you can, go to the interview with it. The embassy do not have instructions on that. Your school does.
Thank you so much, Fred. So there's a question says, I've always got accepted. I've always got accepted to universities, but no full scholarship. How can I use my CV, including working on over 20 projects as an electrical design engineer, to get a full scholarship? Mr. Ben, do you want to touch on this?
Okay, let me try. I think it's a very good question. So what you have to do is that sometimes the university also indicates the requirement for writing the CV. And even if they don't indicate, you understand the program you are going to apply for, and then I think through that you can redesign your CV. So for instance, you have 20 projects in an electrical design engineer. Good. And supposing the program that you want to apply has nothing to do with electrical design, and you go and then indicate that in your CV, there's going to be that kind of mismatch. And even this applies to all those who wants to do job applications as well. So just understand the program requirements. What exactly is the program looking for? And what are you likely to get from the program after you have completed? Then you can link your relevant experiences. So one, it's not everything that you have done that you need to capture in your CV and submit for application. And I think that is another mistake that we've all been making. So sometimes understand the program, read the program overview, know what the program is about, and then you now design your CV to meet the program requirements. And I'm sure if you're able to do that, it will really help to boost your chances. And then also, sometimes you need to also check the recommenders you are using. Those who count. Mind you, when it comes to the scholarship decision or application decision, any requirement that the university has specified counts. So CV, you need to pay. I think I read one requirement of one university on statement of purpose, and the university indicated that if you don't meet this requirement, the application is going to be rejected. Okay, so my advice is that have an overview of the program you're going to you want to go and read, then design your CV to meet that and make sure you get. So I think the take home today is relevant experience. Relevant experience means that the experiences that are related to the program. And that is where there should be a connection between your CV and your statement of purpose. So you can't present one CV which is talking about, I have done this, I have done that, I've done that, and your statement of purpose too is talking about different things. They read, they do analysis. And now with advancement of AI, it's easy for them to detect whether there's coherency in your application. It's very easy. So don't be in a rush. Take your time, understand the application requirement, and make sure that all these requirements are in line. You can even let your recommender know the program you are applying so that he writes the recommendation to meet, right, to in line with it. It will surprise you that somebody is applying for, let's say, engineering program, and the recommender to is writing something different. It will surprise you. So I'm sure if we're able to understand all these simple strategies, it will help us to boost our scholarship chances. So I think, Ms. Hetty, this is what I have to say about this. I don't know if you can add something.
So I'm just going to add one or two lines because you've actually said the best direct advice anybody can ever get on this situation. The only thing I'm going to say or add on to it is that if you are looking for scholarship or funding from another department, you should also look at your CV and the role you're applying to. What experiences do I have in my CV that tallies with the role I'm applying to? So it's not just about having a CV and submitting it because they say graduate assistants needed. So you just submit your CV. Look at the role, read the requirements. Just like Mr. Ben said, relevant experience that will get you that graduate assistantship. Look at that and then make sure to work on your CV to fit into that role that is being advertised, and then use that to apply. So to this person, like these are the suggestions and ideas that Mr. Ben and I have shared on your question. I don't know if like Mr. Fred will want to add anything to it.
So we would appreciate it if people are very specific. So he said he has got accepted into universities. You didn't let us know which country you're applying to because the scholarships will obviously be based on the universities you apply to. And if you've been doing something and it's not going well and people continue to show that they've gotten scholarships, seek for mentorship, seek for help. Maybe you've been walking the wrong path. So which country have you been applying to? Because scholarship applications in the UK is not the same as how you apply for scholarships in the US. And so if you let us know which country you've been applying to, then we'll be able to assist you specifically based on the country, how the scholarship process go.
All right. Thank you so much. Fred. I don't know if there are any other questions that would like to take. It says, oh, okay, I already took this question. If you're joining us, this is the Fred Effect Study Abroad podcast, and today we are basically doing Q&As. So we have people throwing questions. You're also allowed into the studio to ask questions, and then we would respond to them as well, be it from the US perspective or from the UK as well. Somebody says, good evening, the team. You're doing an excellent job. Thank you. Please, I work for an MP as a researcher. Can I use his bank statements as a financial proof for US schools? You work for an MP as a researcher. Can you use his bank statements as a financial proof for US schools? I think Fred touched on um, bank statements for schools in the US. So it is the school that will determine whether the bank statements you are submitting meets their requirements for them to release your I-20. So yeah, So Richard says, I applied to Kent State University during their free application week, which was October 20th to 27th. However, after submitting my application, the portal still indicates that I need to pay the application fee. I have already contacted the admissions office regarding this issue, but I've not yet received a response. Since the free period ends on Monday, I'm a bit concerned and would like to confirm whether my application will be processed under the fee waiver.
So what we have to understand is that normally some application fee waivers are only for domestic students. I know of the Kent State one. So you have to confirm whether the application fee waiver applies to international applicants. If it doesn't apply to international applicants, that's the reason why the portal still says that you need to pay the application fee. So confirm that first.
Yeah, and then to add to, sometimes to the application fee waiver is for specific programs. So we need to know all these before we make an attempt. If not, you may think that maybe it's not working, but it's not working for your program. So what I want to mean is that one school, let's say Kent State, can give out admission fee waiver, but it could be for specific programs. So there are some programs that are not going to waive the fee. So you need to understand all these things, find out if the application fee waiver is for the program you want to apply. And this can save you from a lot of thinking and you'll be free.
All right. Thank you so much. So I don't know if there are any other questions or anybody in the who join us in the studio to kind of like ask questions. We probably want to take this. For 3 years, I've been accepted in several universities such as Sheffield University and Southampton, Michigan State, and Northeastern University, but no scholarship. Okay, but then we don't know what the question is. So probably in the meantime, Mr. Ben, are there like any suggestions, cues, or tips and tricks you'd want to give to anybody watching today who might want to embark on their journey in like the UK or like generally studying abroad?
Yeah, I think looking at our interaction for today, there is one common issue. And I think when we also started the process, that was the same mistake that we were making. We heard of hey, they need SOP, and we started writing SOP without even knowing what the SOP was supposed to be. Oh, they need CV, and we started writing CV, and we were just submitting in a CV. Now with them over, let me say, 4 to 5 years experience, what I want to share with our viewers today is that they should try as much as possible to read every bit of information on their program outline before they make an attempt to apply. And sometimes too, they may not get the details until they open the application portal. So what I want to say is that sometimes after reading through the program requirement and you are okay and you want to apply, when you open the account to start the application, you try to maybe go to the statement of purpose section. They can also specify things there that might not be at the website. So you see, sometimes the moment you get to the statement of purpose in the portal, then you see that the requirements there are quite different from what you have in your SOP or in your CV. So let's do that kind of cross analysis from the portal and then from the departmental website. We'll be able to know exactly what they want. We will produce for them, and I'm sure that this trick will really help, and some of us maybe through this will be able to secure scholarship we've tried for over 5 years we are not getting. When you miss certain information, that's the issue. When there's a requirement and you are not able to go by it, then automatically you are being denied. That is it. Because if they are to check they are even to review your application, the first question is, do you meet all the requirements? So if maybe 10 people of us, we've applied for the same scholarship, and now, so if they want to make decision, they're going to check, do all of us meet the requirements? So those who don't meet the requirement, they even put your application aside. Not even, so you'll be out automatically. And you get the admission all right, and you feel like you're not getting funding, and you think maybe it is luck or your house people are chasing you. That's why you are not. Some people will be at Chua fasting for 7 days. This scholarship, if I don't get, I'll not talk to anybody in the house. If you don't take care, you even go to some malam or prophet, and they will tell you, don't even eat your mother's food until your application. Please, all these are myths, right? Let's do the right thing, and it will save us from a lot of worrying, a lot of time, because sometimes we waste a lot of time on application but by not doing the right thing, which is wrong. So create an account, enter into the portal, know what they are required, come and read the program overview, and make sure that there are coherency. And I'm sure, on that note, if you are being denied, then you know that indeed the application is very competitive. And of course, I have to be frank, you are not the only one that is applying, and it's going to be very competitive. So you have to make sure that your application stand out. And one of the ways is to make sure that you meet the requirements. Nothing more, nothing else. So I'm sure with this, if we are able to apply, it will really help us to boost our chances to secure and the full scholarship that we all want.
There was something you said that I liked, that you need to get the information. Okay. Studying abroad involves a lot of research. That is why there's something that I always tell people who are like, "Oh, I want to study abroad." I'm like, it is easy, okay, but then at the same time it's hard. And I'll explain. Now, it is easy to find a school to say you want to go study in the school, but then the hard work comes when you have to research. Do you get it? So it's easy to say I want to go and study abroad, but then the hard work comes in if, like, you have to do the research, you have to decide on the schools, you have to decide on how many schools you want to apply to, the requirements, what is needed, and all of that. Like, all these things tie into it. But at the end of the day, once you put in the work and then you see everything play out so beautifully, you become relaxed. And Mr. Ben said something. He said you need to get the information. There's information out there. Oh. People have come to the US without scholarships, but upon arrival, because of like attending orientations, going for events, meeting professors and stuff like that, they've been able to secure assistantships. So, and it's all because they ask. You don't just keep quiet and say, "Hey, I want to travel abroad, so I want to go and study abroad, so I'm not going to ask anybody. I'm not going." And I don't know if Fred remembers this. Like, I'm sure he's had like several encounters, but like, sometimes when people come to you for help, they don't want to send you their I-20. I don't know how they expect like either Fred or myself to kind of assist them with maybe like visa prep and all of that. If I've not seen your I-20, I don't know your story. I cannot speak to it. So then it's all because of, just like you said, the myth of maybe, oh, somebody will do this, somebody will do that. Fine, everybody and their religious beliefs, and that's okay. But again, you have to be very much focused on what your end goal is. I always say this, like, people have done it. I have, Fred has, Mr. Ben has, and we are not any different. It's all, the only thing that makes it
Yeah,
different.
we are not superhumans.
We're not like humans, okay? It's just the fact that you put your mind to it. You did all the extensive research. See, I didn't know like I could research for it, because I was, see, Mr. Ben, I was determined that GRE, I will not write it because
Ah,
I don't like math. So I said, no, I must find a school that will give me full scholarship to go and study without having to write GRE. And so that's where the hard work started. That's why I started doing my research. That is where I started looking out for schools that would give me what I wanted without having to do GRE. And lo and behold, I found something, and the school is still up and running without accepting GRE. Do you get it? So look for what you want, and like Mr. Ben said, there should be consistency in your documentations. And I want to touch a bit about SOPs, statements of purpose. It's not just about writing something and submit, because they said some schools indicate what they need to be in your statements of purpose. So you need to be very, very careful to read every single information on your academic website. Some schools require certain things to be in your statements of purpose. If you miss it, I'm sorry. And one catch that I shared in a video on my YouTube is you need to have a strong hook, like your storyline at the beginning of your statements of purpose should get somebody to read. So imagine yourself that somebody has brought a paper to you to read about themselves. What will keep you glued to that paper the whole time to read the story to the very end? That is something that you should consider. So your GPA can be low, but that statements of purpose can get you the admission and the funding you are looking for. Again, your GPA can be high. That statements of purpose can also get you the assistantship you are looking for. So regardless of whatever CGPA you have, know that that's not the only thing your school is looking out for. There are other requirements and specifications that they are looking for that definitely can help you get admission and then the funding that you want. So might probably take like the last round of questions and then we can wrap up if that's okay with you, Mr. Ben.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. So Priscilla is saying, hello team. If the school is requesting for 3 recommendation letters, can you request 2 from your school professors and 1 from your workplace? Yes, you can do that. And then I also, again, some schools specify if they want more of your professional, your recommendation letters to come from your professional experience than that of your academic. So that too, you might want to cross check. But I know for usually grad school, if you're able to get 2 from your professors and then 1 from your workplace, that works, which I think is something that I did as well. And Princess is saying, can you share the name of the school to us? If it's a master's in communication studies that you want to pursue, you can apply to Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. So you see, one of the reasons why you should be joining the Fred Effect Study Abroad podcast every weekend, we've been sharing like some nuggets and some secrets here so that it will help you. So yes, you can look at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. So there's a question from Josie. She said, hi, Miss Hetty and the team. My name is Josephine. I applied for 2 universities in the US. To both, wait, let me read this again. Hi, Miss Hetty and the team. My name is Josephine. I applied to 2 schools in the US. I applied to 2 universities in the US and gained admission to both. But one program indicated that it does not cover an F1 visa, but the other program does. The one without the F1 visa has my preferred course too. I'm now torn between the schools and I don't know what to do. Any advice? This is wait. So Josephine, you are saying you applied to 2 universities in the US and gained admission to both. But one program indicated that they do not cover an F1 visa, but the other program does. And the one without the F1 visa has your preferred course. You are torn between the 2 universities and don't know what to do. Any advice? Is Fred here? I would really love Fred to touch on this because I know usually most schools, if the school is giving international admissions, you should be able to, unless I'm not getting the part that says it does not cover an F1 visa.
This is super simple. So what happens is that not every program admits international students, and especially when it is online, they can admit you, but it doesn't qualify you to get an I-20, so you can apply for a visa. So they admitted you into the program because you applied online, and so you can stay in your home country, maybe pay fees and do it online. If that's what you prefer, there's an option for that. It means that for that specific program, they are not going to issue an I-20. You cannot go for a visa interview in order to come pursue that program on campus. So if that's your preferred program, why not apply to a different school that accepts international students into that program, and then you can now get I-20, come and study and all that. Just understand that you cannot apply for a visa without your preferred program. In the first place, they cannot issue an I-20 for that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fred. There was a question. Hello, team. I want to find a school I can apply for, but I'm really finding it hard to find one. Can you guys help me with like a website? I think this is something Mr. Ben and I have been hammering on the whole day. Once you decide you want to study abroad, that's where the hard work begins. Research, type your program, schools that offer this program. You will find something. So please, Jude.
I think this is the best time you can use AI.
It even makes it easier. Like, I don't know. I think no matter how to go and type schools that offer
Please,
communication service without
please use the AI to search for schools instead of using it to write your CVs and statement of purpose.
yeah, so you can utilize AI to your advantage. In this case, you can AI will make the work easy for you. Just give you like a brief list of schools, and then you can go ahead and begin your process as well. Just a few final questions, and then we can wrap up with some final words. I think we've exhausted most of the questions, because most of the other questions that are coming in are similar to what he just asked. So, Mr. Ben, any final words you'd like to share with our viewers today? I think it has been an interesting Q&A session. So I think please, you can consider having this like also often, so that people can, have some of their questions addressed as well.
Yeah, I think we have to we have to decide, like maybe at the end of every month, the last Saturday of every month can be for questions and answers. Yeah,
so people can prepare their questions towards that last session.
I think we can structure that, and then we see how it goes.
Right. So any final words you'd like to share with our viewers watching today all over the world?
Yeah, I think one other thing too that is very important, but we are all finding it difficult to do, is just one word: planning. That is the secret to success in life, but it is the very difficult thing that we can never do. So once again, to the Christians, in the Bible, Jesus said, who wants to build a house and would first of all not sit down to know the cost involved, plan everything before he starts? This is teaching us about planning. So please, my advice for you this evening is that let's try as much as possible to plan our life. I know where we are coming from is very difficult. It's very difficult to understand this, but this is the secret. Hetty, I remember when we were kids, we saw some uncompleted building, and we got to 20 years, and those buildings were still there. So what it means is that the person perhaps never planned before started. Or maybe there could be issues, but honestly, if there was a proper plan, the person wouldn't have wasted the money, would not even start in the first place. So please, study abroad, or to study abroad is not something that should like occur to you. You just wake up and you say you want to study abroad. No, you just have to sit down, you plan, and then you plan it carefully. So that's when I realized that I may have difficulty in USA. I had my backup plan. You see, so planning is everything. Even if you plan and you plan well, we all have 24 hours. What makes others different from us is how they plan their time. Okay, so this is the secret. This one, you don't have to go and sit in any motivational speaking for this Apo. This is Apo Kron. This one, if you understand it, you are free forever. So please sit down, at least give yourself like about 2 hours quiet time and plan. Begin to meditate. Ask yourself, who am I? Why, even to understand the reason why you want to study abroad, it's about 80% chances of you getting full scholarship and then getting your visa approved. Just to sit down alone and understand why you want to study abroad is enough. That one alone is about 80% of the work done. As for the application, if you're even serious, you can use 30 minutes to apply. Oh. Trust me, you can create an account today and submit your application today. So what is important is the plan. You see, nowadays, because of technology, if you see the constructors, within 2 months, they are done with their building. And it doesn't just occur magic, even though there's an advancement of technology, but they still have the plan. So when the plan meets the technology, you are good to go. Without the plan, no matter what you do in vain. So this evening, I'm very passionate about this because this is what I've been talking about to the youth for over 2 years of my life, because that is what we are lacking. Some of us, maybe the reason why we've not been able to get to where we intend to be is because we had a vision. Oh, let's say I want to be a bank manager, I want to be a politician, but without a plan. So a vision without a plan is visionless. And I'm bold and I'm confident about this because if you say you have dreamt to become a president of Ghana, and if you don't have the plan to follow, how are you going to be the president of Ghana? So to study US has nothing to do with having the vision or mouth talk. It comes with a plan. If you want to study with the UK, it must come with a plan. If you're able to do this, please trust me. You don't need any prophet to prophesy over your life. You are going to make it because this is the secret in life. Thank you for always tuning in to the Freddy Fed. And we love you all. We hope that one day all of you with proper planning, all your dream will come true. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ben. Thank you so much. I don't know if Fred is here and would like to add some final words, but I think you've said it all. I personally don't have anything else to add to that. The big foundation of everything is have a plan. Once you have a plan, you will be able to pull through. And I choose to call it know your why. Know your why for beginning everything. Know your why for wanting to study abroad. Know your why for wanting to study a particular program and even wanting to study in a particular school. That why, when you have it at the back of your mind, it will drive you through to the very end. So again, planning is the basics of everything. And don't just get up and say you want to do this without having a plan. But once you have the plan, you will be good to go. So if you joined us today, this has been the Study Abroad podcast with the Fred Effect team, and today we've had Q&As. And like I said, I'm going to bribe Mr. Fred so that we'll be doing this every at the end of every month, so that we can be responding to some of your questions and then at least clearing doubts on certain conversations and whatnot. Again, we've all done it. We are not any different. Mr. Ben mentioned we are not any superficial human beings. We went through the process, so we are not any different, and you can also do that. So if there's anything you're going to leave here with today, I want you to leave here with the mindset of having a plan and have it at the back of your mind that everybody's experience is different. And so if you're sitting down thinking that because it didn't work for Kojo Menu, it will not work for me, no. Make that attempt right now because you don't know where and how things are going to play out for you. So thank you so much for joining us. This has always been the Study Abroad podcast with the Fred Effect team, and we will definitely be coming your way again this subsequent weekend. Have a good evening and enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody.